This is the most important issue actually. If our friends like to, I will, Ramji, email you meditation and imagination paper that was published, I think last year. And that is where I'm engaging some of the contemporary cognitive scientists about how imagination is used in meditation. That the first thing when I kind of presented imagination in a very flowery, rosy picture, it is not that then therefore go haywire in imagination. They have these dictated, mandated rules of bhavana, which is again constitution and imagining. And I analyze in that particular paper, I analyze Abhinava Gupta and Maheshwarananda, how they use imagination to create a ritual paradigm, and then how they transform day-to-day reality. So number one, most of our ritual observations require imagination, but that doesn't mean that any imagination is as good. And also, for random people who are imagining, you can let them do whatever they like. But people who are either very creative, powerful people, they can create their own monsters by the use of their consciousness. Our minds, if they are active, if you have a very active, vivid imagination, then making that vivid imagination positive is going to add quality to your life. But if that is unchecked, then that will be used for negative purposes, and that will go towards negative tendency, and that is detrimental to health. Therefore, these meditative practices are meticulous about how to use that. But there was a second part of your question on hallucination. In active imagination, a subject is always capable of walking out of it. In hallucination, we have this loss of our own subject. The object takes over, and it becomes more real than any real thing for us, or as real or any other real things for us. And that is where it becomes unhealthy, or it becomes detrimental to our mental health. So in hallucination, if I am hallucinating, I will not know at the time. That is the very definition of hallucination. If I'm hallucinating and I know I'm hallucinating, I may not be hallucinating. I can have erroneous perception. And then that is when I know that I'm having erroneous perception and the thing is not there, but I can still continue to see it as if it is there. But then in pure hallucination, we even have the loss of the self, the subject. We are brooded into it, walk out, then we are. So at the moment of hallucination, I don't think, at least right now, I don't have any way out. But imagination cannot lead you to hallucination, because imagination, on the contrary, adds you with a heightened subjective awareness to filter and process the concepts that come to your mind, to meticulously suspend some of the ideas from coming to the mind. When you are imagining Hanumanji, why do you have to think of Hanumanji having a monkey face? Why can't you think of Hanumanji having a donkey face? You don't do that, okay? That is how you have in this. Just because you are imagining doesn't mean that you can just imagine whatever you like. So by guiding, that's what these meditative texts always give you, a particular image to think about. And most people say, if it is just an image, let me make my own. Yeah, you can. I mean, who is going to stop you? But I don't know the consequences of doing that, because that is just something walking into uncharted territory. Therefore, yes, there are these guidelines in the meditative text about how to develop, stages of higher and higher stages of imagination. Bhaskara Raya, a 16th century around Maratha tantric philosopher, gives in his Yogini Hridayam commentary how to stack layers and layers and layers of imagination in a single space, going all the way up to 16-fold images playing at the same time, 16 processes. People were doing amazing things. The capacity to simultaneously process 16 different ideas. You can say, no, it is not possible. But if you, know these chess players who can play with, 20 different people at the same time, like there's this Queen's Gambit, popular film came out this year. These people are able to, process all the chess games at the same time, and then there's different persons are playing, but then one player is playing with all the persons at the same time. So the brain is processing all the different information at the same time, but that requires a very higher level of attention matched with a sustained a course of imagination, where it's not a random thought, but rather a cultured thought, proper process of imagination. Thank you.